Stephen A. Smith just dropped a bombshell, and it's shaking the sports world to its core. The man once known as Money Mayweather is now making headlines for all the wrong reasons. After raking in over $1 billion during his career, Floyd Mayweather is now facing shocking claims of bankruptcy tied to a jaw-dropping $402 million scam. In today's video, we break down the explosive accusations, dive into what Stephen A. revealed, and uncover how the King of the Ring may have just lost his financial crown. Buckle up. This is one story you won't believe. I never thought I'd say this, but today I sit with a heavy heart. I'm deeply disappointed in one of my all-time favorite fighters, my brother, the one and only Floyd "Money" Mayweather. Ladies and gentlemen, chaos has erupted. And no, this isn't the kind of chaos that electrifies a boxing ring. This is a whole different level, messy, humiliating, and public. Just take a look at this mansion. Over 20,000 square feet, 3 or 4 levels of luxury stacked high in Las Vegas. Classic Mayweather, right? The king of work smarter, not harder. But now, everything's unraveling. Once hailed as the ultimate symbol of boxing dominance and financial genius, Floyd is suddenly facing a nightmare that no one saw coming, a potential financial collapse. Stephen A. Smith is sounding the alarm. Is the undefeated champ now battling his most dangerous opponent yet? Bankruptcy? Let's talk about this $42 million scandal that's shaking the boxing world to its core. You see this garage? This isn't just a collection of cars, it's a shrine to excess. $3.2 million for one car, $1.6 million for another. In total, nearly $15 million worth of wheels. And he doesn't even drive them. For years, Floyd Mayweather flaunted his image as the highest-paid athlete on earth, $100 million per fight, headlines screaming his name. No one sold more tickets, no one made more money, no one hit harder with the numbers. But now, that legend might be slipping. Was he truly the greatest of all time, or just the flashiest? But now, one powerful voice from the fight world is shattering the entire Mayweather myth. Former UFC title contender and analyst Chael Sonnen isn't pulling any punches. He's calling it one of the biggest illusions in sports marketing history. According to him, those flashy 9-figure paydays, they might have been nothing more than smoke, mirrors, and a whole lot of PR spin. Sonnen even coined the moment as his personal awakening to fake news. Why? Because he was there. He bought a ticket for his own mother, walked into the arena, and couldn't believe his eyes. Thousands of empty seats. Yet the broadcast screamed "sold out." It hit him like a jab to the jaw. This whole thing was a setup. And it didn't stop there. Mayweather's team was reportedly begging for a rematch, doing more media to sell a second fight than they ever did for the first. The desperation didn't come from the fans, it came from behind the scenes. According to Sonnen, while Floyd paraded around in designer suits, private jets, and million-dollar watches, the cold, hard financial proof was never actually shown. No broadcast receipts, no third-party accounting, no corporate execs backing the numbers. Just headlines and hearsay. The companies writing those supposed checks, not a single one confirmed it. So now we're left with a brutal, unavoidable question. Was Floyd Mayweather's empire truly built on ironclad checks? Or was it just a mirage of ego, luxury, and media manipulation? And Sonnen's not the only one raising red flags. The signs are everywhere. Lawsuits over unpaid jewelry, financial disputes, and even a crypto scam scandal, all circling Floyd Mayweather's name like vultures. The money brand, once untouchable, is leaking from every corner. For years, Floyd wasn't just the face of boxing. He was luxury. He didn't just wear wealth, he lived it. Private jets, million-dollar shopping sprees, $100,000 watches on a Tuesday. Mayweather turned money into a full-blown identity. But now, the shine is fading. and fast. The cracks in his empire are becoming impossible to ignore. Word on the street? Mayweather is broke. No one wants to say it outright, but his old rivals aren't staying quiet anymore. Even Oscar de la Hoya, his longtime nemesis turned occasional supporter, couldn't hold back. A man who once stood across the ring from Floyd is now voicing concern. Recently, de la Hoya put it bluntly, "You've got to stop embarrassing yourself with these exhibitions. I know life's expensive, but come on, man, protect your legacy. Nobody wants to remember you like this." And it only gets worse. Mayweather's jeweler has filed a lawsuit in Miami, and whispers are growing louder about him needing to liquidate assets just to stay afloat. From a man like De La Hoya, who's seen both the glamour and the grime of boxing, this wasn't just criticism, it sounded like a financial eulogy. The lawsuits, the desperate exhibitions, the fading empire, this isn't the story of a billionaire champion anymore. It's the unraveling of a legend. And when even your former enemies start offering sympathy instead of throwing jabs, that's when you know the fight might really be over. But here's the twist. Mayweather didn't stay silent either. While De La Hoya tries to play the part of a concerned ex-rival, Floyd made it clear he hasn't forgotten the real business history between them. Behind all the sympathy and subtle jabs, Mayweather dropped a bombshell of his own, reminding the world that when it comes to money and loyalty, Oscar's record isn't exactly spotless. "We built him up," Floyd said. "He was fighting on my undercard. He was my co-main event. We gave him that spotlight. And what did De La Hoya do in return? According to Mayweather, he cut a secret deal with HBO behind Floyd's back. Mr. Loyal Oscar?" Floyd smirked. "No, Miss Disloyal Oscar." He even claimed Canelo Alvarez, one of boxing's biggest stars, never saw a dime from that deal. This wasn't just about old grudges or past paychecks. It was a warning shot. Mayweather was hinting at something bigger, a pattern of shady backroom deals, unspoken payouts, and financial maneuvering that's haunted boxing for years. And now, ironically, those same tactics seem to be catching up with Floyd himself, through lawsuits, mounting debts, and the quiet sale of assets behind the scenes. And it's not just critics or former champions calling it out anymore. Financial experts, sports insiders, and even fans are beginning to ask the question no one thought they'd ask. Was the money empire ever real? Or just smoke, mirrors, and carefully crafted illusion? Even fighters from Floyd's own era, men who shared the ring with him, are now helping peel back the layers of the Money Mayweather myth. One of the loudest voices, Logan Paul. After going toe-to-toe with Floyd in a high-profile exhibition, Logan has spent more time chasing his check than training for his next fight, and he's not holding back. "Yeah, I got paid," Logan admitted, "but not in full. There's a couple million just gone, missing. Where'd the money go, Floyd?" He even mocked Floyd's past claims of making Bezos-level cash from that bout. He said he could buy a Jeff Bezos jet. Meanwhile, I can't even find a few million that's rightfully mine. Then came the punchline, straight to court. Logan didn't mince words. "Mark my words. We're coming for you, coming for your millions and the last of your chain." What was billed as just another flashy exhibition match has morphed into a full-blown legal battle. A court case, missing millions, another crack in the crumbling money brand. And Logan's not alone. Rumors and whispers from other fighters are beginning to surface too, suggesting the payouts, the promises, and the profits might not all be real. Because when even your opponents are dragging you to court just to get paid, the real question isn't whether Mayweather is rich. It's whether his entire financial empire is already running on fumes. But even as Logan Paul pushed forward with his lawsuit, accusing Floyd Mayweather of stiffing him on their fight payday, Floyd didn't flinch. In true Mayweather fashion, he clapped back with swagger and deflection, brushing off the entire scandal like it was pocket change. "Look, I'm still cashing checks from fights 7-8 years ago," Mayweather boasted. "Why? Because I made smart moves. I'm my own boss. They hate it when the tables turn. How many years have they owed us money? Did we trip? Nope. But now they want to cry foul? Be happy you got the biggest payday of your life." That cool confidence painted the lawsuit as business as usual. But the truth might be far messier. Because while Floyd's words say one thing, the timing says another. Unpaid opponents, angry jewelers filing lawsuits, whispers of asset sell-offs. His financial empire is feeling the heat from every angle. And no amount of bravado can silence the growing number of people waiting on checks. Logan's claims pull back the curtain on the behind-the-scenes machine that built the money brand. For years, Floyd didn't just fight for big money, he engineered it. He was the fighter and the promoter, scooping up control of every dollar in the building. Take ticket sales, for example. Before fans could even click buy, Floyd was already buying entire sections of the arena, floor seats, premium rows, and flipping them at a steep markup for maximum profit. Where a traditional promoter might take 30%, Floyd was the promoter. He didn't split the pie. He baked it, sold it, and ate the profits. It was a brilliant hustle, until the cracks started to show. And now, with lawsuits piling up and payouts under question, fans are wondering, was Floyd Mayweather a financial genius? Or just the smartest guy in the room playing a game that's finally catching up to him? On the surface, even Logan Paul admitted, Floyd's strategy wasn't illegal. In fact, for a fighter running his own promotions, flipping tickets and maximizing profits was just smart business. But according to Logan, that wasn't the issue. The real problem? Investors were being left in the dark, and once those seats were sold, millions of dollars mysteriously vanished. In this specific lawsuit, Logan describes an investor who put up $1.4 million to buy a prime section of seats. The promise? A massive return, 7 to 8 times the original investment. But instead of profits, the investor got breadcrumbs. $100 grand here, a little more there. Strung along for months with no clear answers, and worse, no full repayment. And then came the twist. That same investor was allegedly told their money would now be rolled into Floyd's rumored rematch with Manny Pacquiao. No consent, no explanation, just more delays. Eventually, like so many others, the investor reached a breaking point and filed a lawsuit. That case is now active and pending, and it's just one in a growing stack. What began as a sleek, well-oiled business model is now unraveling into a mess of broken promises, unpaid returns, and mounting courtroom drama. Logan's words echo something bigger, a pattern that's getting harder to ignore. Fighters, investors, and business partners are lining up, all with the same story. They're still waiting for Floyd Mayweather to pay what he owes. While Floyd Mayweather keeps projecting an image of opulence, private jets, million-dollar shopping sprees, and luxury at every turn, the cracks in his money empire are starting to show. And this time, the accusations aren't coming from gossip sites or disgruntled ex-promoters. They're coming from inside the ring. Logan Paul, who went toe-to-toe with Mayweather in one of the most watched exhibition fights of the decade, says the real fight didn't happen in the ring. It started after the cameras stopped rolling. According to Logan, the check Mayweather promised never arrived in full. "Has he paid you in full?" a host asked. Logan didn't hesitate. "No, that's a fact. Still short a few mil." "Have you spoken to him?" "Nah. We're taking this to court." The moment that clip hit the internet, the shine on Mayweather's golden image began to fade. This wasn't just some anonymous claim. This was coming straight from a man who laced up the gloves, signed the contracts, and shared the spotlight with Floyd. And Logan didn't stop there. With cameras rolling, he delivered a parting shot. "See you in the courtroom." "Congrats, Floyd. You're going to prison." It was the kind of viral moment that shook fans and critics alike. Not from a bitter ex, but from someone who played by Floyd's rules and still walked away feeling cheated. Yet through it all, Mayweather remains unfazed, always calm, always cocky. He continues to flaunt his wealth, reminding the world that no matter what anyone says, in his eyes, he's still winning. But now, more than ever, the world is starting to ask, is the Money Mayweather brand still built on fortune, or just the illusion of it? Mayweather's words weren't just flexes, they were declarations. A reminder to the world of the empire he built brick by brick, dollar by dollar. "I still got my private jets, plural," he said with a smirk. "I still got my homes, my properties. I'm still making millions every month." To Floyd, everything is under control. The wealth, the lifestyle, the legacy, still intact. But these statements do more than just showcase success. They paint a picture of a man who, despite mounting lawsuits and public backlash, remains unfazed. A financial juggernaut, a living symbol of power and perseverance in sports. Yet not everyone is buying the narrative. Critics, including the ever-blunt Stephen A. Smith, have openly questioned Mayweather's recent moves, especially his choice to trade punches with non-boxers in exhibition fights. The Logan Paul spectacle? For Smith, it wasn't just a payday. It was a stain on a nearly flawless career. "When you're Floyd Money Mayweather," Smith said, "not everyone deserves to be in your presence. You're great. You're elite. You don't need to share the ring with influencers and internet stars." Smith conceded that bouts like the one with Conor McGregor made sense from a business and marketing standpoint. That was showmanship, he said. Conor may not be a boxer, but he had knockout power and fighting credentials. "I get it." But the message was crystal clear. Floyd's chase for more money is beginning to overshadow the legacy he spent decades building. And for a man who's made a career out of protecting his perfect record, the biggest risk may no longer be in the ring. It's in how he chooses to spend his final rounds. Stephen A. Smith made it clear, this isn't about street fights or clout chasing, this is about boxing. And in Smith's eyes, Mayweather's talent and business brilliance are undeniable, but his recent choices? They're dragging down everything he built. "These fights," Smith said, "they don't honor the sport. They don't honor your legacy. You've got nothing left to prove, Floyd. You're already one of the greatest, so act like it. Because the truth is, the higher you climb, the harder you fall." And for Floyd Mayweather, that fall may have already started, quietly, behind closed doors. The man who once made headlines for counting stacks of cash on camera now finds himself drowning in lawsuits, unpaid debts, and rumors of a collapsing empire. The king of pay-per-view, the symbol of luxury, the man who turned boxing into a billion-dollar brand, might have just been selling an illusion all along. What if the private jets, the diamond chains, the Bugattis were just props? What if the empire was built on smoke and mirrors, and it's not just critics or ex-opponents noticing? Even 50 Cent has chimed in, publicly exposing Floyd's alleged financial trouble. But the real firestorm began when Business Insider dropped a bombshell report. Floyd Mayweather is now under contract for a jaw-dropping $420 million deal tied to an affordable housing portfolio in Manhattan. Over 60 buildings. Thousands of units, big numbers, but even bigger questions. Is this a power move or a desperate pivot? With investors involved and partnerships totaling over $1.8 billion, the scale of the deal raises eyebrows and suspicions. Is Floyd stepping into real estate greatness, or is this the last play to keep the money myth alive? Because when the headlines fade and the lights go out, only one question remains. Was Money Mayweather ever really as rich as he claimed? Or has the greatest illusion in sports finally been exposed? From the twin luxury towers of the American Copper buildings in Manhattan to a $1.8 billion real estate venture, Floyd Mayweather's moves look massive on paper. But dig a little deeper, and the cracks become impossible to ignore. That $42 million scandal? It's not just a headline, it's a warning shot. Behind the designer suits, the stacks of cash, and those perfectly filtered Instagram posts lies a darker truth. The empire that Floyd Money Mayweather built on flash and flex may be collapsing, and this time, no amount of PR magic can save the brand from what looks more and more like financial freefall. Think the $42 million scam was the end of the story? Think again. The deeper this rabbit hole goes, the uglier it gets. Because behind all the jet-set selfies and luxury shopping sprees might be a man who became a victim of his own ego, a man so obsessed with looking rich, he forgot to stay rich. And when Stephen A. Smith, the loudest voice in sports media, starts questioning your money on national television, it's no longer just internet haters. It's a signal. The walls are closing in. Floyd Mayweather didn't just sell out arenas. He sold the fantasy of untouchable wealth. But strip away the diamond watches, the staged bank slips, and the illusion starts to crumble. What's left? A man running out of time, out of luck, and by the looks of these lawsuits, out of money. The $42 million scam might not just be a bad business deal, it could be the final nail in the coffin of the Money Mayweather myth. So now we ask you, is Mayweather's financial empire finally falling apart? Or has he been playing the world from day one? Drop your thoughts in the comments. This story's far from over.